After 60, 4 salts that can damage your heart and 4 that protect it every day. Senior Health Tips. Salt. It's the most common seasoning in the world, and yet for seniors, it's also one of the most misunderstood. After the age of 60, your body changes in ways that make salt both more necessary and more dangerous. Your kidneys become less efficient at filtering sodium, your blood vessels lose some of their natural flexibility, and your bones become more vulnerable to calcium loss. This means the salt you choose and the amount you eat can have a direct impact on your heart health, brain function, joint comfort, and even your independence. But here's the catch. Not all salts are created equal. Some varieties can quietly drive up your blood pressure, cause swelling, and strain your heart without you even realizing it. Others can supply trace minerals your body desperately needs, helping to keep your muscles strong, your nerves firing properly, and your hydration levels stable. In this video, we'll go from the most dangerous salts to the most beneficial ones, so you'll know exactly what to avoid and what to keep on your table. For many seniors, just switching the type of salt they use has been enough to lower blood pressure, reduce swelling, and improve energy within weeks. And if you've been sprinkling the wrong kind for decades, now is the time to make a change that could literally save your life. Number 1. Refined table salt. This is the standard white salt you'll find in shakers across restaurants, diners, and most home kitchens, and for seniors over 60, it's one of the most harmful forms of sodium you can consume. Refined table salt is highly processed. Natural salt is stripped of nearly all its trace minerals, then heated at extreme temperatures to remove moisture. The result is pure sodium chloride, often combined with anti-caking chemicals like calcium silicate or sodium aluminosilicate to keep it from clumping. While these additives might make it easy to pour, they provide zero nutritional value and, in some cases, can irritate the stomach lining. The real danger, however, is the way pure sodium chloride affects the aging body. Without minerals like magnesium and potassium to balance it, this type of salt increases fluid retention, swelling your blood volume and raising blood pressure. For seniors whose arteries have lost some elasticity, that extra pressure can be devastating, accelerating the risk of strokes, heart attacks, and kidney strain. And the tricky part is, you're likely consuming far more than you think. Refined table salt hides in packaged bread, canned soups, frozen meals, sauces, deli meats, and even breakfast cereals. The average American senior eats over 3,400 milligrams of sodium per day, more than double the recommended limit, often without realizing it. Over time, the constant overload can also weaken your bones, as your body pulls calcium from them to balance excess sodium in the blood. That's a double hit for seniors already concerned about osteoporosis. The swelling in ankles, the persistent fatigue, the shortness of breath for many older adults. These are not just aging, but the direct consequences of silent sodium overload from table salt. Better tip: swap refined table salt for natural mineral-rich options like Himalayan pink salt or unrefined sea salt, and watch your total daily sodium. Aim for under 1,500 milligrams per day. Read labels carefully, and remember that the biggest sodium danger comes from processed foods, not the pinch you add at the table. Number 2. Flavored and seasoned salts. Garlic salt, onion salt, celery salt, steakhouse blends. These products might seem like a quick way to add taste, but for seniors over 60, they're often a dangerous sodium trap. Most of these mixes contain a much higher sodium concentration per teaspoon than regular table salt because they combine refined salt with flavor powders, preservatives, and sometimes monosodium glutamate, MSG. The problem is twofold. First, your taste buds naturally dull with age, which means many seniors shake on far more than they realize. thinking they're just enhancing flavor. Second, the added flavorings do nothing to offset the harmful effects of excess sodium chloride. In fact, they often encourage you to use more. For those with hypertension, heart disease, or kidney issues, this can trigger noticeable swelling in the feet and ankles, water retention in the hands increased, joint stiffness, and dangerous spikes in blood pressure. A 2021 Harvard Medical School review found that older adults who cut out seasoned salts and MSW spice blends saw a measurable drop in systolic blood pressure in just 3 to 4 weeks. But the risks go beyond the heart. These salts can also contain artificial coloring agents and anti-caking chemicals that some seniors find hard to digest, leading to bloating or mild stomach discomfort. And because they're marketed as gourmet or natural, many people assume they're healthier than plain salt, when in reality, they're just another delivery system for excessive sodium. If you're sprinkling seasoned salt on grilled vegetables, baked potatoes, or popcorn, thinking you're making a better choice, you could be doubling your sodium intake without realizing it. Better tip: skip store-bought flavored salts entirely and make your own salt-free seasoning blends at home using dried herbs, garlic powder, not garlic salt, paprika, black pepper, and a touch of lemon zest. This way, you get bold flavor without loading your meals with the excess sodium that can silently harm your heart, kidneys, and joints. Number 3. Kosher salt in excess. At first glance, kosher salt seems like a safer option. Its larger, flakier crystals make it less dense than table salt, meaning a teaspoon technically contains less sodium by weight. Many chefs prefer it because it's easier to pinch and sprinkle evenly, and it dissolves while in cooking. But here's where the danger creeps in for seniors. The size of the crystals tricks people into thinking they're using less, when in reality, they often compensate by adding more to achieve the same perceived saltiness. For someone over 60, this habit can quickly lead to sodium overload without realizing it. Unlike some natural salts, most kosher salt brands are still refined, meaning they lack the trace minerals like potassium and magnesium that help balance sodium's effects. Over time, this imbalance can contribute to high blood pressure, dehydration, and even dizziness from electrolyte disruption. The lack of added iodine, while beneficial for those avoiding excess, can also be a drawback for seniors who already struggle to get enough iodine for thyroid health, especially women who face a higher risk of thyroid issues after menopause. Another hidden problem: kosher salt is frequently used in home pickling, brining meats, or curing fish, and those methods create extremely high sodium foods that can silently push a day's intake over safe limits. For someone with kidney disease or congestive heart failure, that extra sodium load can trigger fluid buildup in the lungs, shortness of breath, and dangerous blood pressure spikes within hours. The smooth, clean taste of kosher salt often leads to its overuse in salads, roasted vegetables, and baking, making it easy to underestimate total intake. Better tip: if you enjoy cooking with kosher salt, measure it instead of sprinkling by hand, and pair it with plenty of potassium-rich foods like spinach, beans, or sweet potatoes to help balance sodium's effects. And remember, just because it's called kosher doesn't make it automatically healthy for daily use. Number 4. Rock salt, halite, used in cooking. Rock salt, often sold for decorative grinders or marketed as all-natural, is actually one of the riskiest choices for seniors when it's used regularly in cooking. Unlike culinary-grade sea salt or Himalayan salt, much of the rock salt sold for consumption is minimally processed, meaning it may contain impurities, heavy metals, or insoluble minerals that offer no health benefits and can even irritate the digestive tract. While its coarse crystals may make you think you're adding less in practice, many people crush or grind it more generously to achieve the same flavor intensity. and that can lead to massive sodium spikes in a single meal. For seniors over 60, whose cardiovascular systems are already more sensitive to salt's effects, this can result in rapid water retention, swelling in the legs and hands, and blood pressure surges that linger for days. Another hidden danger is its use in certain traditional cooking methods like salt-baked fish or meats, which involve packing the entire dish in rock salt before cooking. Even if the crust is discarded, the surface of the food can absorb enough sodium to push you well over the recommended daily limit in one sitting. In addition, rock salt is sometimes iodized unevenly or not at all, which can contribute to thyroid function issues if your diet is already low in iodine. And because it's often sold as a rustic or authentic alternative, many assume it's safer than table salt, when in reality, it's just another form of high-sodium seasoning with no balancing minerals. Better tip: reserve rock salt for occasional decorative use, such as a grinder on the table for guests, rather than daily cooking. If you want a coarse, natural salt for regular meals, choose a certified food-grade, unrefined sea salt from a reputable source, which will provide trace minerals without the unwanted contaminants. Now that we've covered the 4 salts that can quietly damage your heart, strain your kidneys, and weaken your bones after 60, it's time to shift to the good news. There are salts that can actually support your health when used in moderation. These healthier options contain trace minerals that help balance sodium's effects, support nerve and muscle function, and even improve hydration. Choosing the right one can mean lowering your blood pressure naturally, reducing swelling, and adding subtle flavor without harming your heart. Let's go through the 4 best salts for seniors, starting with the one that offers the richest mineral profile and the cleanest taste. Number 1. Himalayan pink salt. Himalayan pink salt is mined from ancient sea deposits deep in the Himalayan mountains, protected from modern pollution for millions of years. Its pink color comes from trace amounts of minerals like magnesium, potassium, and calcium, which can help counteract some of sodium's negative effects. For seniors over 60, these minerals support heart rhythm, maintain bone strength, and aid in muscle contraction, all essential for mobility and independence. Unlike refined table salt, it isn't bleached or processed with anti-caking agents, so you avoid unnecessary additives. Its flavor is softer and more complex than plain sodium chloride, which means you can often use less while still feeling satisfied. This reduced sodium load can make a measurable difference in blood pressure control. Some studies even suggest that mineral-rich salts like this can improve overall hydration, as the balanced electrolyte content helps your body retain water more effectively, a big benefit for older adults who often drink less than they should. But a word of caution: it's still salt, and overuse will erase its benefits. Better tip: use Himalayan pink salt for home cooking. Pair it with fresh herbs, citrus juice, or pepper to reduce how much you need. Keep total sodium under 1,500 milligrams per day, and remember, the benefits come from moderation, not from pouring it on freely. Number 2. Unrefined sea salt. Unrefined sea salt is harvested directly from evaporated seawater and retains a spectrum of natural minerals that are stripped away in refined salts. These include magnesium, potassium, calcium, and trace elements like zinc and iron, all of which can help balance sodium's effect on blood pressure, support nerve function, and maintain bone density. For seniors over 60, the mineral diversity in unrefined sea salt can be a gentle way to add essential nutrients that the body may not get enough of through diet alone. Its slightly coarse texture and more complex flavor profile often encourage people to use smaller amounts, which naturally keeps total sodium intake in check. Unlike processed salts, unrefined sea salt does not contain synthetic anti-caking agents, reducing the chemical load on your digestive system. Some varieties, such as Celtic sea salt or fleur de sel, also contain small amounts of iodine, which can help maintain healthy thyroid function, a concern for many older adults. Another advantage is how it interacts with hydration. The balanced mineral content can improve the body's ability to retain fluids without causing excessive swelling, something especially important for seniors with circulatory issues. However, because it's harvested from modern seas, there is a small risk of microplastic contamination, so choosing a reputable, tested brand is crucial. Better tip: select high-quality, lab-tested, unrefined sea salt from trusted sources and use it sparingly for seasoning fresh vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains. Combining it with potassium-rich foods like spinach or sweet potatoes can help counter sodium's impact and support heart health. Number 3. Iodized sea salt. Iodized sea salt offers the mineral diversity of unrefined sea salt with the added benefit of iodine, a trace nutrient essential for healthy thyroid function. After 60, maintaining thyroid health becomes more important than ever, as even mild deficiencies can lead to fatigue, weight fluctuations, and cognitive decline. Many seniors mistakenly believe they get enough iodine from diet alone, but research shows that iodine intake often decreases with age, especially in those who reduce dairy or seafood consumption. Iodized sea salt provides a simple way to top up levels without overhauling your diet. Unlike standard refined table salt, the sea salt base retains beneficial minerals like magnesium, potassium, and calcium, giving you a more balanced electrolyte profile. This can help regulate nerve signaling, muscle contractions, and hydration, all of which support mobility and overall vitality. The flavor is also gentler and more nuanced than plain iodized table salt, which can make meals more enjoyable without the urge to oversalt. Still, moderation is key. The iodine coating does not change the sodium content, and too much sodium will still raise blood pressure and strain the kidneys. Seniors with a family history of goiter or thyroid disorders. Incorporating iodized sea salt can be a small but impactful preventive step. Better tip: use iodized sea salt a few times per week in rotation with other mineral-rich salts, ensuring your thyroid gets support without pushing your sodium intake too high. Pair it with seafood like salmon or shrimp for an extra iodine boost, while keeping meals nutrient-dense and heart-friendly. Number 4. Low-sodium mineral salt blends. Low-sodium mineral salt blends are specifically designed to provide flavor while reducing overall sodium intake, often by replacing part of the sodium chloride with potassium chloride or magnesium salts. For seniors over 60, this can be a game changer. Potassium, in particular, helps counteract sodium's effect on blood pressure by relaxing blood vessel walls and aiding in the removal of excess sodium through urine. Many older adults don't get enough potassium from food alone, so using a salt blend fortified with it can provide daily support for heart and kidney health. These blends also often include trace minerals like zinc and calcium, further supporting immune function and bone strength. The flavor is slightly different from regular salt. Some describe it as having a faintly bitter or mineral-like undertone, but most people adapt quickly, especially when it's combined with herbs or spices in cooking. The main caution is for seniors with kidney disease or those taking certain medications, such as ACE inhibitors or potassium-sparing diuretics, where extra potassium could be harmful. That's why it's important to discuss any switch with a healthcare provider. For the majority of healthy older adults, though, these blends offer a way to cut sodium intake by 30 to 50% without feeling like food is bland. Over time, this reduction can lower blood pressure, reduce swelling, and ease strain on the heart. Benefits you can actually feel. Better tip: introduce low-sodium mineral salt blends gradually by mixing them half and half with your usual salt for a few weeks, then fully switching once your taste buds adjust. Combine them with fresh herbs, garlic, or citrus to mask any subtle flavor differences and keep meals satisfying while protecting your cardiovascular health. That brings us to the end of our list. 4 salts to avoid and 4 to embrace. But the real takeaway isn't just about which type sits in your kitchen. After 60, it's about the daily balance you create between sodium and the minerals that help your body process it. Too much of the wrong salt can silently raise your blood pressure, drain calcium from your bones, and strain your kidneys. While the right kind, used wisely, can support hydration, nerve health, and muscle function. Even healthy salts can become harmful if you don't keep your total sodium in check, and most of it comes from hidden sources like bread, canned goods, sauces, and restaurant meals. That's why reading labels, measuring portions, and pairing salty foods with potassium-rich vegetables and plenty of water is essential. For many seniors, the switch to mineral-rich salts, combined with cutting back on processed foods, leads to lower swelling, more energy, and better overall health in just weeks. And perhaps the most important part, retraining your taste buds. Once you reduce your sodium slowly, your palate adjusts, and foods begin to taste richer and more satisfying without that constant heavy saltiness. Think of salt as a tool, not a habit. The right one, used sparingly, can keep your meals flavorful and your body strong well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond.